I'm Dan Ackerman, and we are here with the Asus EP121. That is something that's pretty rare these days. It's a Windows 7 tablet. We first saw this guy back at CES 2011. We've seen a few bouncing around Europe. They're actually pretty hard to find in the US right now. It's a little bit different from most of the other Windows tablets that we've seen in some very good ways. First of all, instead of being super underpowered, it's actually got an Intel Core i5 CPU in it. Now, it's not the current, what they call the Sandy Bridge version with better built-in graphics and really high-end performance. It's last year's ultra-low voltage version, but it's still a huge step up from most of the tablets that we've seen that run Windows that usually have something like an Intel Atom in them that make them virtually unusable. This also has a bigger screen than a lot of tablets. A lot of the tablets are 7 inches, 9 inches. This is a 12-inch display. It's got this cool edge-to-edge glass over it that's very nice. Does pick up fingerprints pretty easily, however, you know all that anti-fingerprint stuff they have on like the iPad screen? Well, there's none of that here. That said, it's a good size for watching movies, and it is a pretty decent size for working on for longer periods, almost like a 13-inch laptop, which is probably the smallest size screen we consider, for all-day use. Now, along with the touchscreen tablet, you also get a bundled Bluetooth keyboard that matches up very nicely design-wise, and of course it connects wirelessly through Bluetooth. And you can use this keyboard, or of course it's got the standard Windows on-screen keyboard right here, which is not the best on-screen keyboard in the world, but it's one that pretty much every Windows touchscreen tablet has. Your mileage with it may vary. The EP121 feels a lot zippier than pretty much every other Windows tablet we've used thanks to that Core i5, and in fact you can even go into a web browser and do finger scrolling like this, something that you can't do in a lot of Windows-based tablets. We only got this to work in Internet Explorer. It wouldn't work in Chrome for us. And then there's some art programs built in. You can do some sketching in here if you feel like it. And, obviously you could stream Hulu through it pretty easily. It's not going to get too stuttery because of that powerful CPU. Connection-wise, you've got a couple of USB ports over here on the side. They're under these little covers right here. You've also got HDMI and an SD card slot, and there's a volume rocker here on the side. And if you tilt it, it should reorient itself. There's a little lock switch you can put on, so it won't do that if you don't want it to. Obviously, it doesn't flip as fast as some non-Windows tablets do. As far as Windows tablets go, it's actually one of the cooler-looking ones we've seen, thanks to the edge-to-edge glass, the metal front bezel, and the back is plastic, but still looks pretty good. It's also a lot lighter than you'd think, especially considering it's a lot of glass and metal on the front side of it. Now, the EP121 is not going to come cheap. It starts at about $1,000. I think you can trade up to a more expensive version that has a bigger solid-state hard drive. The basic version has a 32-gig drive. And as far as Windows tablets go right now, if price is no object, I'd say this is currently the one to beat. I'm Dan Ackerman, and that is the Asus EP121.